it still helps them. It's like, look, we've only got till 9:30, and we know that some of these other guys are coming up that we've seen before that we really enjoy, so we're okay. So I think it helps to keep them a little focused and sort of in line. And it helps me because I'm not there all night long.
Right.
And it also helps when I get people who come that aren't normally there that I don't know really well or haven't seen.
Right.
Because I'm not forced to put them up at like 1 in the morning when
Sure,
there's nobody left.
sure.
I have to put them up somewhere or I have to tell them ahead of time, I'm sorry, I don't have room for you. So that kind of gives me that, and I like it. And even if you do get stuck going last, the crowd's only been there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, so they're still okay with you.
Right.
You know, most times they're still okay with you.
Right.
Sometimes they're a little wrung out. You know, I mean, it happens. But yeah, I've been doing that for about 3 years now. And I don't look at it. It's weird. I don't look at it as running the room. Like I host it.
Right.
That's, J-Rock and Brett Crandall, Jeremy Michael and Brett Crandall set that room up and asked me if I wanted to host it, and I said yeah, absolutely, because I still think that hosting for a comic is a solid tool to have in the toolbox. I really do.
I agree.
I think it helps out because it does a lot of things. It gives you one more talent. So if somebody needs a host, you can step in and do it. And hosting gigs a lot of times are paid, which is nice. Even if it's just gas money, it's still paid. The other thing I like about it is it gives you an appreciation for what some of these guys are going through when they're hosting that show. Because the guys that are good make it look very, very easy, and it's not always. Sometimes the night will run itself. You know what I mean? There are times. I mean, I've again blessed with some very, very solid comics in Fort Collins. Blessed with some good up and comers that are coming up. I don't like to say names because I'm always afraid I'll forget somebody. That's why I don't mention a lot of names. But I'm blessed with a lot of veterans that are easy to work with and fun to work with and enjoy doing things and understand why I put them where I put them. Because I call it Russian roulette comedy. Most times I'll walk by somebody and go, "You're next."
Right.
You're next.
Right.
Because it takes some of the weight off me because I don't have to structure a lineup. It keeps guys from getting stuck in like the two-hole.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I'm making the list and I haven't seen you much, so you're stuck as number 2 for the rest of this month or next month or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it keeps the comics on their toes. The hell with them.
I think
guess what? You're going up again.
Yeah,
now you got to pay a little bit of attention too. So I mean, I like that.
I just think you're a good judge of it anyway.
Thank you.
I know to come out to our show, Adam has to have seen you, or I've had to have seen you. The two exceptions is if Bob Gaudet has seen you. Well, no, and that's the truth, isn't it?
I do appreciate that. I really do.
Well, but you shouldn't, because we put a lot of pressure on you. I know that because and there's times that I don't know a comic, and I'll call you if it's a North Colorado comic. I'll call you. For Denver, I'll call Steve.
Right.
And I know you're really generous with the way you talk about your comics. You don't ever badmouth any comics.
No, I try not to. It's I just part of it is because I don't want to get my ass kicked. I can't fight. I really can't.
Well, you're not going to get your ass kicked.
I don't want to get my head kicked. No, it's just not. I mean, again, I think having done this and having done different aspects of it between the hosting and featuring and even dabbled a little bit in putting shows together, you start to, and if you've done it at all, you understand what it takes to get up there.
No, I agree.
So I mean, I'm really because comedy is so subjective. I'm really loath to say that guy's not a good comic or that gal's not a good comic.
Well, no, I mean, you've left me with stuff like I'll ask about a certain comic. You'll be like, what, he has some great stuff. I don't know if he can fill the time. And
that's always a concern.
Yeah, and you'll be very honest with me. I don't know if he can fill the time.
Right.
And you're also like, maybe a little more work before he goes in front of a crowd that size.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's. You definitely. I mean, the Morgan show and the Sterling show are so much fun to play.
Right.
That if I recommend a person to play out there, I want to make sure I recommend a person that's going to bring their A game with them for 2 reasons. One, because you guys at that point are depending on my say so.
Right.
And I'm okay with that because I'm never going to sell you guys a guy that or a man or a woman that I know can't do it, or that's not going to fit with that crowd. There's at least one comic, and again, I don't want to mention names. There's at least one comic that I would love to recommend to you because he's a very good personal friend of mine, and I think he's a good comic. He would not work with that crowd, and I know he won't.
Okay. We've talked about this before.
And I can't, part of me says I can't take the chance of you guys not trusting my word anymore when I try to send somebody else out there.
Right.
If I've burned you once or twice. So I don't want to do that, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, and the other thing, too, is, I mean, that audience, if you give them your A game, they will respond so well to your A game that it's just worth it to you to bring your chops. I mean, to have your chops, man. I mean, you got to be ready to go, they reward you so well for it that it really makes it worth the practice that you put in.
I agree.
They're just so much fun.
And
and you get treated like a rock star for a weekend, and I want these guys to be able to see that. You really do. I mean, it's with respect to everybody else that puts on a show that I've ever worked with. The shows in Fort Morgan and Sterling are so much fun to do as a comic because it's sort of it's a taste of that, making it in the business without actually having made it in the business.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you get that, it's that spot of sunshine when you've done 8 shows in the last month where a total of 19 people have showed up to. You know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
That's the way it happens. And you get out there and you have a huge crowd. They're into the show. They're smart enough to get what you're telling them. You know what I mean? Like but they're there to have fun. And they know how to have fun without disrupting the show most of the time.
Right.
I think maybe, I think you guys have had problems with maybe 1 or 2 people out there.
Well, there's a chicken Sterling. Adams had to. I put
mean,
the chicken hawk on.
Yeah, and so honestly, I mean, sometimes for certain people, you should have a drink maximum instead of a drink minimum.
Oh, well.
But again, part of the draw for the places that you do this is that they sell booze and they sell food when you bring your people in there. So what are you going to do? You don't say, hey, keep an eye on these guys and shut them off. You can't do that.
Right.
And again, I have had very few problems with anybody out there. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually had a problem with anybody out there.
No, I don't think you have. No.
I think that you every once in a while you get somebody, like I said, that's really tearing it up on a Saturday night, and the funny thing about it is that person honestly believes he's helping the comics by providing them with a target or with fodder or something.
Right.
And it's just
they
mean well.
I said, you become like 3 for the road of entertainment. You're becoming that guy.
That's right. That's it. I got my muscle with me whenever I roll out there. Old MJ will whoop somebody's ass. I go fucking with Bob. Bob's like, I am Mary's redheaded stepchild.
Well, the funny thing is, like, Adam's he's our technical guy. He's the guy who takes care of the equipment, our sound guy, and that shit. Yeah. And by the end of the Fort Morgan show, I've been drinking so much where I become a little busy bee. And when Bob comes out, it's funny because I should be helping Adam, but you're the one actually tearing down with Adam, and I really don't go at you.
I do. I blame the fact that I did 3 years of stage crew in high school for that.
Oh,
I just cannot see something be setting up or breaking it without actually getting. Well, that, and again, I'm on your podcast. We're talking about your show, and at the risk of sounding like I'm absolutely kissing the ass of both the guys that I'm talking to,
and you don't have to.
No,
there's no reason for you to. So that's not what it is. That's not what
friends.
it is.
But honestly, I mean, it's one of those things where I like jumping in and helping you guys. We're friends. Like you said at the beginning, we're friends outside of comedy. So when something's going down, if I get a phone call that says, hey, listen, man, as much as we want you to do 20, I've got this, I've got that. This is a rare opportunity for this person to take the stage. Can you give me 10? Yes, I can give you 10. It's whatever you want. You know what I mean? Awesome. It doesn't bother me. It's not whatever. It's your show. You tell me what you need. I will do my best to provide that.
And you always have. You always have.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how we work, and it's fun to do. And your family's like my family. Your family is like my family. I mean, we just. It's so much fun to be out there with you guys. And like I said, to get treated like a rock star for 2 days. The hotel's paid for, you get fed.
Oh, yeah.
Who would not want to do that show? And you get a crowd that is so into the show that it's just unbelievable, man.
And they know you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they talk to you after the show. Like, that's what I like about it, is they're not afraid to come up and say, hey, man, you did a really nice job tonight. Or we really enjoyed you or whatever. I mean, I've had so much fun out there. I've met people. I actually signed somebody's ticket, I think, the last time.
Oh, that's awesome. No, that's cool.
I really think. Yeah, I was on the pool table in the bar. The lady came up and went, hey, excuse me. I was like, yeah, what's going on? She's like, I'm going to need you to sign that for me. And I'm thinking, fuck, it's a restraining order. They finally caught on.
Yeah.
Can't come within 200 miles of Morgan County. I am in big trouble. I have to move.
Right.
But no, she asked me to sign her ticket, and that's awesome. Those are fun to do. Yeah.
A lot of people I told that Adam and I come out to do the podcast with Bob Gaudet. Oh, tell Bob I said hi.
And I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook. Eric Christensen on Facebook. I'm friends with on Facebook. Yeah. I followed his progress in like the 9,000 sit-ups in 9,000 minutes or whatever.
That's right.
The guy's a nut job, man.
Oh, he's great. He sells my Salus. I got like 10 bags of that shit in my house now. You can tell I'm not using it. Though, you lost a lot of weight, bud.
I have. I'm down to about 185 pounds. I'm looking svelte, if I may say so.
No, you look
myself.
great, but of course me and Adam are two fat guys that are just jealous of it.
You're about half my weight. Congratulations on that.
And I don't want to bring this up live or anything. Are you still running? I thought I saw you posted something about running again the other day.
Yeah,
but you're traveling a lot too, though.
I'm on the road a lot
they
for
stick
work.
You in the middle of nowhere. So try walking to work.
It's in Oklahoma. That would work.
Hey,
it's a 12-hour drive.
I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm not saying it's not a bad commute, Adam. I'm saying how committed are you? I guess
Adam's a big man, but he's a running fool, man. He's like the big Forrest Gump. This guy. He just
I was running.
Run, Forrest, run.
I actually had a kid the other day. I was out for a run, and I'm coming down the street. You know, I'm 6'4", 350. You see me coming down the street, you think that it's like zombies, apocalypse, something. Because a fat ass like me shouldn't be moving that fast.
Personally, I'm thinking it's free Slurpee day.
Yeah, I was going to say, which truck must have turned over again.
But this kid, he's probably 10 or 12. Him and one of his buddies were out there, and one of them goes, "Is someone chasing you?" And as I was running by, I said, "No." He goes, "Then why are you running?"
Have you seen World War Z yet? Have you watched the movie?
I have not. I've seen the previews.
Oh, shit, I can't do the spoiler then. Never mind. I got such a great joke about World War Z, man, and I can't tell it because it'll ruin it.
I actually mentioned your zombie apocalypse trailer park plan to a guy at work, and he thinks that he did use the word genius. Like,
really?
He thinks that is brilliant. Yeah.
That's one of my
gave
favorite
you full
jokes.
credit.
Okay,
yeah, I love that joke. I really do.
Do you really?
I love it because it was like there were so many zombie jokes floating around, and that one was just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like on top of the fact that it was a good joke, it was just so different from a lot of the other stuff that people were running at the time. I was like,
I talk about a zombie because every guy, and it's true, every guy has a zombie invasion plan. When you're watching a zombie movie, every guy is sitting there thinking what he would do. That's how we're fucking wired, man. You know what I mean? And that's my plan is to move to a trailer park where nobody has any teeth, so you can't be eaten, you can't be bit. You know what I mean? And in World War Z, they actually make that reference, like, oh, they yanked everybody's teeth out, so they can't, I was like, motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Bastards.
Old Brad Pitt, and I got to beat your ass when I see you, Brad, you know what I mean?
Damn it, man. Why does it have to be this way? We could have been friends, Brad. I got a new one that I'm working on where I talk about, I think we should have a work release program for meth manufacturers.
Okay.
Because if you're going to put these guys on probation or on parole, they need a job. Get them a job in the fucking pharmaceutical industry. This dude is making the most popular drug in America in the spare bathroom of a double-wide trailer using Drano and cold medicine. Can you imagine what this dude could accomplish in a lab with some real fucking tools? Probably have cancer, AIDS, and acne cured inside of 6 weeks, and still have time to paint the garage he built this morning. I think that's just amazing.
All it was gasoline and Tylenol.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, we came in on time and under budget, man. The side effects are a little rough, but it will cure it.
Was go to Walgreens and Home Depot.
And that was a tag I wanted to use with a zombie joke. Was that would be the hardest part of the zombie apocalypse is telling the zombies from the meth heads. Because they're all bloody and welts and missing teeth and shit.
Right? And that's the thing, man. Is like, but we always I thought about the other day, and this is the stuff I think of when they're paying me to work. We always refer to it as cooking meth, right? Like it's some kind of bizarre trailer park Iron Chef.
Right.
Tonight's secret ingredient, Sudafed. You know, I mean, it's like,
begin.
Right? Which, by the way, you can't buy anymore without a little card on the fucking right, like a note from your mom.
I know.
I walked up there and I put the card down. I was like, really? I can't just buy Sudafed? She's like, well, the meth problem. I said, madam, take a look at me. I have way too much skin on my arms and face and way too many teeth to be a meth addict. I just have a cold.
That's what I told him.
I'm a beginner.
Like, if you see me rocking a 6-pack of Sudafed, by all means, question my motive. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But if I'm buying a package,
oh man,
I'm not going to smoke the capsules. I promise. I'll sign whatever you want. Just please stop making me bring a note from mom up to this fucking counter. Please give Bobby his tummy medication. He's not feeling well. Fucking ma!
He's got the snotzies.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap it up here pretty quick because I think they're going to start the show here at the Down Under.
I got to pee.
That's cool. Real quick, Bob, where can I find you on the internet? Facebook?
Facebook, yes. Just Bob Gaudet. Comedian Bob Gaudet if you want to, but I got to be honest. Again, lazy by nature, and I hardly ever update that page. So,
but is it a likable page?
Yes, you can like it.
Yes, okay.
Yes. Yep, you can like it. You can follow me, I guess. I'm not on Twitter or any of that stuff. I don't understand any of it. And I kind of take the sort of the barbarian view of it, where it's like, right. Twitter magic bad.
Okay.
Just not into it. And I'm one of those people where if I'm trying to be funny, it's not going to work.
Okay.
And I know me, if I have a Twitter account, I will feel like the obligation to post something witty in 86 characters or less or whatever, and it's just going to be a bunch of garbage.
Any website or anything like that?
I do not have a website. I do have clips of my comedy on my regular Facebook page, and eventually when I learn how to use a computer, I will transfer them over to my comedian page, I guess. I don't. But yeah, other than that, you can catch me every Monday night at Hody's. I host. Sometimes I have a guest host. And then pretty much I will probably be playing either a Denny's or a phone booth near you.
That's awesome. Okay,
I'll play anywhere they'll book me. So
Adam and I do have a webpage.
Yes.
24road.com.
Yep.
Solid.
It is. You can check out this. We are the Juggernaut Brothers.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to have you up in